what's up guys, it's CrazyCraft812 here, and today I did something pretty interesting. So, a local city of mine was holding sort of like a book festival, I would like to call it, and I had the opportunity of hearing R.L. Stein speak. Yes, R.L. Stein, the author of the Goosebumps series of books, and he was very interesting. So to start off, most of the people there were really die-hard fans. Like, I'm not really a die-hard fan of R.L. Stein. I mean, I read like one or two of his books, and they were good. And I saw a few episodes of the crappy Goosebumps 90s TV show, and then also A Haunting Hour, and then also the Goosebumps movie. But that's pretty much it. So I felt kind of out of place among people who like had gotten the latest book and were ready to get it signed by him. So we sat our seats down in an auditorium. And well, one thing I'd like to note is that he was kind of awkward while speaking. And I think it's because he spent most of his time as a child writing rather than, interacting with the people. So, he started off by reading some fan letters, one of which read, "Dear R.L. Stein, you are my second favorite author." And that was just the entire letter. And then there was another one which read, R.L. Stein, "Dear R.L. Stein, do you have hair?" And so apparently the burning question that person wanted to know was whether or not R.L. Stein had hair. So we heard him speak. He also did some shameless advertising for his new book. He read a chapter of it, and it was like another slappy, like the ventriloquist doll thing in that series. Because it's so successful, he's just got to make more. But I understand it. And so afterwards, what we decided to do was we went over to what was it? Yes, it was a gymnasium, and there's a bunch of book stands there, including one which had R.L. Stein in it, and he was signing books, actually. And while we were there were lots of local authors there, by the way. So to support a local author, we bought a book there, actually. It's a book called Red Sounding. It's quite interesting. So basically, it's about vampires on a Soviet submarine during the Cold War. And we actually got it signed by the author. He was a very nice guy, Mr. Winfield H. Strock III. I recommend you check out his writing. It is very good. And he wrote To Charles and Colton. Dive in. And he signed his name. That was really interesting. One more thing I'd just like to add that I forgot to mention is that right after the shameless advertising for his new book, Mr. Stein actually answered some questions. So you just had to raise your hand, and if he'd call on you, and then you have to shout your question, and then he'd reply. So I raised my hand. I had a question, and he actually called on me. So I had a brief conversation with R.L. Stein. I like to call it that, even though it really wasn't that. So I asked him if he ever suffered from writer's block, and he told me that he never did. So for each book, he explained, he creates an essential outline for each book. So he doesn't really make it up as he goes. He already has it planned out. He already has all the hard stuff planned out. And then he writes in all the details and stuff. So that was quite interesting. That was my day. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you later.